Good morning on this cold and wet and miserable Monday that we've got again in front of us. But hopefully we can bring a little bit of joy to your day with our Monday morning Drawalong. Pip and Michael is here today as well. Just say hi, Michael.
Hi.
Pardon?
Hi.
We're continuing on with our theme of exotic birds and studying this week lovebird, but not just any lovebird. We've gone with the blue-masked lovebird. If you haven't found it already, our reference image is in the discussion tab of the event. But you don't have to use this image. Michael's decided to use a different image. He's just making up the rules as he goes along now, and that's kind of how we roll here. So if you want to use your own image, feel free. You could even use a different image of a different lovebird if you like. Hello, Emily. Hi, Farron as well. Hopefully that means you can hear and see us okay. So I am drawing landscape today. I've got a nice little range of blues and a couple of pinks as well. And I think this is why I've chosen this image, because we've got a nice contrast between those two colours in the bird's beak and then the bright blue plumage of the wing feathers as well. I'm going to learn some information or some facts about this bird as well. So I'm going to start off by introducing you to the lovebird, which, like I say, there are 9. This is the blue-masked lovebird, which is a mutation of another kind. There is 9 species of lovebird in the world, and they all belong to the genus Agapornis, which is Greek for the words love and bird. So agape means love and ornis means bird. God knows if I've actually pronounced that right, but you get the idea. So, who else have we got? Hello from Ria and Warris. Hello from Holly. Hi, it's Erin. I haven't been on the club for a while, so hello again. Hello, Erin. Welcome back. God, I haven't seen you in ages. So, that's what we're doing. I'm going to draw on my page landscape-wise. And I'm actually decided, so this image doesn't show the whole bird. The reference image crops out at the feet anyway. But I decided I really want to focus on the details in the face. So I'm probably going to crop it down further in my own study of it. You don't have to do the same. Something I've noticed on this image, this bird looks like it's had his wing feathers clipped, which is, oh, what's happened there? Which is something that people can do in the pet trade to prevent birds from being able to fly away. It doesn't hurt them, I'm told. It is a case of just cropping those wing feathers so that they're unable to fly away. But I think that's another reason I kind of want to crop the image, because it feels a little bit sad. So I'm going to probably crop it to about there. Emily says the bird is so cute. It is adorable, I agree. So I'm going to start off by sketching in the main details. I feel like my setup today is a bit all over the place. I feel like the camera's in my face, but we'll see how we go. So this is my challenge, trying to make sure I fill the space. I want to really fill the space today. So I'm going to start off by sketching in roughly where the head goes, like a big fat sausage shape, roughly where the beak is going to go. Now already I feel like I've done this too big and I'm not going to be able to get enough of the blue plumage in, but we will see. We'll keep going with it for now. Yeah, that beak is too big. Something like that. Really rough. Like I say, I want to give as much detail as possible, maybe try and get some of those finer feather details into this image. That is a right old scribble, isn't it? I've just looked at that on the screen. What does that look like? Nothing. But it will transform. So, a couple of more facts for you. The blue-masked lovebird, which is what we're doing here, is the best known colour mutation of the masked lovebird. So the masked lovebird is one of the 9 species of lovebird, and then our bird that we're drawing today is a mutation from that. This variety occurs naturally in the wild as well as in captivity. It's very attractive with a black head, blue body and a white collar around the neck and on the upper breast. These parrots are native to the small region in northeast Tanzania, which is world famous for the Lake Victoria, the Serengeti and Kilimanjaro. They can often be seen in small flocks near sources of fresh water. They usually prefer dry regions with sparse growth close to woodlands. So there we go, some facts to get us started and warmed up, because I feel like I don't know, I'm getting a bad feeling about today. I think I'm going to struggle with the proportions again this week, but we will just plod on and hope for the best. So now I'm going to sketch out some finer details and try and correct the form as I go along. Michael, you look like you're struggling. I'm seeing all these facial expressions.
My hand's really shaky, I don't know why.
You've eaten?
Yeah, I had cereal.
You're tired, that's why.
No, I almost started shaking as I was in the head.
I think it's this beak that's going to be a little bit problematic for me, so I'll spend a bit of time here, I think. Not too bad. It's not too bad a start. And apologies, I've still got this cough, so apologies if I am spluttering through. My voice is back better than last week though, so that's an improvement for this. Get rid of some of those bigger scribbles that are just going to confuse my head and start neatening it up a little bit. I may have done the eye too big. A really nice round pupil, but you can see the colour of the eye is brown. I'm looking very cartoony at the moment, but hopefully when I start adding some tone and texture, that'll change. How are we doing so far, people? Oh dear. Joe's with us today. Good morning, Joe. How are you? Are you drawing today? If it helps enlarge your image that you're working on. At the moment, my drawing is looking a little bit sinister. I don't know what it is. I think something to do with the eyes gone wrong for me. And he's not so cute, much cute. He looks a little bit like he's plotting something. Oh my word, why am I struggling with this today? Emily's saying it's hard. Okay, it's not just me then. How are you feeling, Michael?
Good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fine. Oh no, I'm looking at it now. Now I've done the eye too small. Right, start again. Come on, Pip. See, we all have those days. Mine's today. Why am I struggling with this? That's better. We're getting somewhere. Slowly, but we're getting there. I told you, birds are my nemesis. That's still not right. Oh, I'm getting on with it now. Maybe it's the head. Rub out those lines. Maybe that's throwing me. I'll do what I've done before. I just work on a bit at a time. You finding another reference picture, Michael?
I'm trying to find out where they
Habitat.
Yeah, as in like what kind of.
They're normally by pools of water, but they like dry land as well. I think we're going to have to go to that because else I'll be drawing this all day, but I'm still not happy with it. Having trouble too, Pip, don't worry. Oh, it's not just me. Joe's playing catch up. So am I. So don't worry, Joe. Maybe if I bring the beak up a little bit more. Sometimes I just have days where it doesn't start off too strong. But if you just keep going with it, maybe we'll pull it out the bag. Yeah. Right. I'm just gonna go for it at this point. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do, like I did with the mammals, I'm probably gonna put base colour down for the feathers and allow that to dry, and then try and with a sharpened pencil try getting some of those fine line details we can see on the reference image, especially if you zoom in, see all those lines. That's what I'd like to do today. That was my thinking behind doing the close-up version. And instead I've got hung up on trying to get the proportions right, so that's throwing me a little bit. Hopefully I've given myself enough time to do that still. We're into full concentration mode. Emily, I think mine's looking better than it was. I'm copying yours, Pip. We can do it, Emily, can't we? We'll get through it one way or another. Like I say, there's a dark brown iris to this bird. Remember to leave those highlighted spaces though where the light's reflecting. It really brings an element of life to your picture. I think what I'll do, once I've done the eye, and this is just habitual, I always like to start with the eye. And there's no science behind it, I've always done that. And then I'll go onto the blue of the feathers so that I can allow that paint to dry. So I've got a few different blues, and they never quite come out the way I think they're going to. So we'll just go with it and see what happens. We'll start with a light blue first of all, because we can build up layers and then add in different tones as we go along. Rub out some of those darker lines as I work as well. I'm using the side of the pencil because this is just about placing colour onto the page at this stage. Oh, that rhymed. Yeah, Farron says mine's given me the side eye. Does it look like it's plotting and scheming something? Because I feel like mine does. So this is very sketchy and rough. This is really all about getting colour on the page. I might put in a darker blue in there as well. But the fine details can come in a little bit. Hi Pip, sorry we're late, we're on a nature walk. Oh nice, that's a good way to start the week. We will try and catch up now, Bean and Bud. I'm sure you'll be fine. And he said, at least it's better than your blank piece of paper. Yes, that's what we like to say. Whatever we draw is going to be better than that blank page you started with. Definitely more interesting. So I actually need one of my fatter paintbrushes. Michael, can you grab me the box down there? Thank you. So the masked lovebird's wild population is thought to be stable and the species is not facing any known threats. So lovebirds in general, or as a whole, are very popular in the pet trade, which is largely why they are not considered endangered, because they are bred as pets. They're a popular bird to keep, I guess, because of how pretty they are as well, and they're quite hardy little birds. and they're not particularly noisy. Some pet birds, or parrots especially, and this is part of the parrot family, can be particularly noisy. They are native to the forests and savannas of sub-Saharan Africa and Madagascar. Fossils of ancient lovebird species have been unearthed in South Africa, dating back as far back as 1.9 million years. So they've been around a long time. Their beauty and natural personalities make them some of the most popular species in the pet trade. Oh, Bean's using his new drawing pad today. Oh, I look forward to seeing that. Incidentally, if you didn't know, on our level 1 art and design course, you can actually choose to do the whole course digitally, or you can choose to do it traditionally like we are, or you can even mix between the two. Erin says hers is giving the side eye as well. How's yours going, Michael?
Good.
Michael's really challenged himself. He's drawing a couple of lovebirds. So he's drawing a blue mask one, but also the, what is it called? Yellow mask? Oh, it's just a mask lovebird. So the traditional one with the yellow and the green. And he's got them on the page together. Now he's drawing a whole habitat as well. Okay, so I've got a base colour down there anyway for the feathers. Something to work on top of and try and get some more details in a bit when I'm ready. Now I need to go back to the head and think about the actual mask, which, although it looks like a black mask, again, when you zoom in, you can see some tones of brown, so I'm going to put them in as well. Again, using the side of the pencil to just place some colour on the page initially. And then slight grey as well, where it starts to become white feathers. I'm going to mix that. So you've got that sort of blending going on. And then in with the black. Take shape a bit now. Starting to look recognisable as a bird at least. It's always a bonus. Oh, I've got like yellow. And then same again, I'm going to just put some water on that so that it's got time to dry, and then I can go in a little bit later on with the details. And says I was trying to add the colours to the beak and now it looks rainbow. Well, to be fair, maybe that's just another variation of the lovebird, because there are some rainbow colours going on with them. Sorry, I've gone well into concentration mode. I don't know if you can see what I can see, but I don't like the way that this line has occurred with my paint. I'm trying to blend it, but it might be that I just have to add some more dark tone on there in a little bit. I have to work quite quickly sometimes with watercolour. Okay, I think I'm going to move on to the beak. Oh, so I've got a bit of pigment on the page. I need to get that off because it's blue. Okay. So, some other facts for you. Lovebirds are cavity dwellers. They make their home in holes in trees, rocks, or shrubs in the wild. Some species nest in groups while others pair off to build their nests away from the flock. In urban settings, they might rely on anything from a tree to a crevice in a building. Peach-faced lovebirds in Phoenix, Arizona often make their homes in cacti, and red-headed lovebirds nest in termite mounds. I wonder if that's a good food source for them as well. The monogamous birds reach maturity when they're about 10 months old, and they begin mating with courtship behaviour, can continue throughout their roughly 15-year lifespan. So they live a decent amount of time for a little bird. Monogamy is essential to the social stability of flocks and underlies much of their social behaviour. And what they mean by that is that they pair up and they stay with their partner. If a mate dies or gets separated, if a mate dies or gets separated from the flock, its companion exhibits erratic behaviour that some have likened to depression. Birds kept as pets often don't like being alone and will exhibit similar behaviour in captivity. So they need their partners. How sweet is that? Right, peaks for the beak now. And it's quite a powerful, it's almost like a yellow tone in the lower part of the beak, but I have not got my yellow out, so I'm going to have to make do. And again, try and rub out some of those lines as you go, because they can be difficult to deal with later on. Big white highlight on the front of the beak I'm going to keep in. Makes it look shiny. And then go in with a slightly stronger pink. Was it the part closest to his face? Beans says, I thought this would be easy, but it's definitely not. You know, I fell into the same trap. So don't feel bad about that, because I was thinking exactly the same. I'm going to use a grey now to sort of focus on this skin area around his eye. And we don't know that it's a he for sure, actually. unlike other birds, where often it's the male that has the the more erratic, colourful plumage, like the bird of paradise we looked at last week. Lovebirds, they both have, male and female both have these colorations. It's much more difficult for us to be able to tell if they're male or female. I can see almost like a light bluey tone in here as well, so I'm going to put that, especially around the edges, like on where the feathers start to meet. There's like a slight blue tone. I'm going to add that in. We had a green peach cheek lovebird. Oh, a pair called Jack and Jill. Oh, that's adorable. Hang on, I need to open this comment so I can see more of it. They're very noisy pets. Oh, okay, my research did not teach me that. They're very messy. They love flicking their seeds everywhere. When Jill died, Jack squawked daily and kept pacing around. We believe when he died it was of a broken heart. He never settled after Jill died. Oh my God, that's so tragic, but lines up with what we were just saying about them, doesn't it? Oh, how lovely though, but also not. I've lost my grey. I put it down. Where'd it go? The sugar press on. Emily says, I've wrecked mine. No, you haven't, Emily. Stick with it. I believe in you. You can salvage it. I don't think I can fix it. If you really don't, why don't you try doing a really quick sketch instead? What I don't want you to do is give up completely. It's all a learning process. Is that my smallest paintbrush? Don't I have a small one? Ah, you pinched it. I see. So I'm going to just go in and work on the eye a little bit now. I've kind of lost part of the highlight that I wanted there. It's not as strong as I'd like. However, because I've invested in a brand new gel pen, I can fix that in a bit. So that's not a major issue. He's coming to life now, isn't he? Now I've got to work on these details a bit. Excuse me. I need that gel pen, Baron. I would highly recommend. I think I got these in a box of 3 from Amazon, and it's worth getting a box of 3 because they do run out quite quickly. I find, and they are so good for correcting things on your paintings, but also for adding in highlights and details after your paint's dry. I think it really makes a difference, and I wish I'd discovered it sooner, to be honest, because I reckon I could have improved a lot more paintings over the years. So in a second, I'm going to then start building in some texture, feather texture on. Probably start on the wing, and then move to the face. I think I've given myself enough time to do that, luckily. But I'm quite pleased, considering how this started, and I thought, oh, I'm not feeling it today. I'm quite pleased so far. I think he looks recognisable as a lovebird at least. My birthday was recently and my mum and dad said I can get guinea pigs. That was Erin. Oh my goodness, how many are you going to get? Guinea pigs plural. Okay. So that's nice and dry, so I can work in on that. I probably should sharpen my pencil, but that means getting up out of my chair. And I'm nice and comfortable now, so I probably won't do that. Yeah? I'm just going to sharpen my pencils whilst I share some more facts with you. This one's black as well. What's there? I know. Yeah, do those three for me. Thank you, Michael.
You sharpen my pencil.
Thank you. So, often, after a long separation or stressful period of time, breeding pairs of lovebirds feed each other to re-establish their bond. One bird transferred food to the mouth of its mate, a feeding technique reminiscent of affection in humans, hence the inspiration for the parrot's name, Lovebird. Aggression isn't uncommon in lovebirds. They are territorial, as are all parrots, and are known to get along poorly with birds of another species. Within their own kind, lovebirds can also become jealous or hormonal during mating season. In captivity, they've been known to attach both other bird species and other lovebirds. With peach-faced lovebirds, they're notorious for aggressive behaviour. Most lovebirds have a varied diet, which consists of fruit, vegetables and seeds. Some lovebirds also eat figs and insects. The black-collared lovebird has a special diet in the wild, feeding on local figs. This dietary requirement makes the species one of the least popular lovebirds in the pet trade, because obviously they've got a little bit more of a fussy palate. Do I have a parrot in the background? No, that was Michael sharpening the pencils. That does, I suppose that did sound like a parrot. Oh, it's an electric pencil sharpener. That's what you heard. Erin's getting 2, maybe even 3. Oh, awesome. Got to start thinking of names. Right. Enough chat. Let me start getting in some of these feather details. So, starting at the top, let's see how much time I've got to get some of these details in. Again, if you had unlimited amount of time for your drawing, you could really go to town on this and look at each individual stroke almost. I do not have unlimited time, so I will do the best I can. I can see some darker shadowing as well in there. I'm going to get some of that in as I go. I'm going to have to work quite quickly if I'm going to get through all this blue and then do the same on the face as well. I don't want to leave myself too short. This is going to be quite a repetitive process, but I am still checking back on the reference image because the directions of those lines changes at certain points. I want to try and follow that fairly accurately. In some parts, like the bit I'm doing here now, you can see individual feathers. I'm trying to do that as much justice as possible. This is not easy though. This is a tricky thing to try and replicate because there's a lot going on. How you getting on, Michael?
Good.
I've got mixed feelings about how mine's going at the moment. I'm not sure that the blues I've used are strong enough. Keep on maybe a bit darker. It's almost neon on this picture, some of the blues. I don't have a neon pencil.
Shall I just quickly go get some scissors?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like feather texture. Not quite as good as I wanted it to be, but it's better than the flat blue colour that we had to begin with. I wonder if with some white highlights it's going to level it up a little bit. Let's see. Oh, just time. Okay. Just want to make sure I've got enough time to do the feathers elsewhere as well. What's it looking like at the moment? I don't know how clear that's coming out. It's okay. It's not perfect. What do you think,
What do
Michael?
you mean that's not perfect?
Well, I'm looking at the reference image. It doesn't quite look like the reference image to me.
Oh.
Is that you complimenting Michael?
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
And that was drawing two lots of Lovebird, so I need to get a wriggle on, don't I?
Yeah, you got about 20 minutes.
20 minutes. I mean, it's doable. It always is. It has to be. And this is just stuck. If you're really stuck and it's like getting to you, Emily, my suggestion would be do something like a thumbnail study. And what I mean by that is choose a section of the picture to really blow up on your screen and just do a detailed drawing of that particular section rather than trying to do all of it. You could focus on like a feather or something because that would be a really big challenge in terms of developing your skills. It would give you something new. So that would be my suggestion, rather than giving up completely. That way you're still developing an artistic skill. Now I'm going, looking at the way the feathers all sort of change direction around his face and trying to get those in as well. You can see the sort of feathers ending around the beak. You see those tips. I'm putting those in. More wonky, I know. But I'm really enjoying this. What to make are your pencils, please, Pip? From Morris. Michael. They are Castle Art. Can you grab me the tin so I can show you? I know it's the first real set of watercolour pencils, like proper branded ones that I've ever worked with. So I can't compare them to other like brands, but I'm getting on with them okay. So they come in lots of different pack sizes. I went silly and got the 120 lot, which is like 3 layers. I tend to use quite a lot of the same ones, so some of them look brand new still. And they can be used wet and dry. So I'm using them dry. A lot of people use watercolour pencils by dipping them into water. I don't personally like doing that. I like to do it the way I do. They are designed that you can dip them straight into water and use them that way if you want to. Whilst I've got the black in my hand, I'm also using it to add a little bit more tone to the beak, make it look more realistic with depth. It's just occurred to me, we've done exotic birds this term, and I've just realised by looking at my pencil tin that we didn't include a peacock on there, which would have made sense, I guess, wouldn't it? As exotic birds go, I don't know why it didn't pop into my head. We definitely haven't drawn a peacock before, mostly because I think, my goodness, if I thought Bird of Paradise was challenging, what would a peacock have done for me? It would have crippled me. I would have been a wreck by the end of that hour. Holly has to go now. She said thank you and goodbye. Thanks for joining us, Holly. Don't forget, if you want some formal feedback from Jo, our art specialist, then upload your work at 1 o'clock when you see this image. So my painting uploaded onto our Facebook page, and Jo will be along. Just make sure that you upload it before 3 o'clock. And actually, the earlier you can get it on, the better for Jo. So, yes, if you'd like some formal feedback to give you guidance on how you can improve for next time, but also tell you what you've done fantastically well as well. So for smaller paintbrushes time, so I can still maintain those lines of feathers. Yes, if you're wondering, I am starting to rush now. Trying to blend out that waterline that I didn't like from earlier. I'm going to give myself enough time to put in the white highlights I was talking about as well. Thanks still not quite right about the blue, and I'm not entirely sure. Joe, if you're watching, can you critique me? What could I do as a quick fix? At the moment, the blue looks too flat. I'm thinking we go in with a darker blue, maybe this one. Try and create some. It doesn't look that much darker. Try and create some depth. At the moment, it's just looking a little bit flat for my liking. I feel like that could work. Is that lifting it a little bit, do you think, Michael?
It's already good, but okay.
Is it improving? Me adding a bit more darker tone.
What have you got to do after?
I need to use the white highlight to add in. And then I'll be finished. And I've got to read some more facts out. Erin says, I just finished mine now. Well done. You beat me. Yours is looking so good so far, Pip. Oh, thank you, Erin. Well, it's true, though, isn't it? We are our harshest critics, because I'm looking at it going, thinking, oh, well, that's wrong, that's wrong. But we should take compliments when people take the time to give them. Emily's done as well. Wow, well done. You turned that around quickly, Emily. Yeah. Okay. Still not happy with that, but here's a bit of water on it, makes a difference. Maybe the white highlighter is what's missing. Maybe I just need to get to that. Excuse me. Now that I'm looking at it, I actually think you might need some even darker tone on it. Oh, Emma says, I'm not pleased with it. Oh. But is it more interesting than that plain piece of paper that you started with an hour ago? And the answer, that's a rhetorical question. The answer is yes. You can't say no. And no, it doesn't feel like it, but you would have learned something from today. It would have helped you develop some skills. It might not feel like it now, but maybe next week you'll apply some of those skills and feel like it wasn't a wasted hour at least. Oh no, my pen's not going to work. I was relying on it. There we go. I could start filling. I'd also take a bit of green into the top of the wing if you look at the reference image. The colour's quite different in that area. Oh, Joan, that requires me moving again. Oh no, wait, I've got the move next to it. Green, I think you're right. I think you are right. I'm like a tealy green. I've got like a that might work. A turquoise green. Thanks, Joe. Sometimes you can look at something so long that you just can't see it anymore. And a fresh pair of eyes, even if they're borrowed from somebody else, can be quite useful. Just borrow somebody else's eyes. There, you're right, Joe. It needed that. Thank you. Now I can see that it needs some. Please work for me, pen. Highlighted bits on the feathers. If the pen works. It's been a bit temperamental today. I read a fantastic tip that says to turn your reference image upside down. Apparently it helps to see the colour difference. There's a lot clearer. Oh, that's a new one on me. I know I've looked at images, not my reference image, but the actual drawing in the mirror. And then that helps you to see where you've gone wrong on things like form. So that's a handy tip. But that one is a new one on me, so thank you, Joe. So looking at the reference image upside down, is that what it says? No, it does. Your eyes, oh my word, that's amazing. Everyone should try that. Turn your reference image upside down and look how it changes your perspective on the colour that you can see. Can you see it, Michael?
Yeah.
Does it feel like you can see a slight difference in the colours?
Like auto flip.
Oh, so if I let you. Your phone keeps lifting it back again. Got a couple more facts to read out, so I'm going to rush these last little highlights so I can share the last bit of information I've got here. Joe, if you are still there, can you remind us what we've got next week for our Drawalong? I know it's a bird. I can never remember that much now. I can barely remember what I've got to do tomorrow, let alone next week.
My birthday.
Oh, how rude! So, some other facts. They typically live from 10 to 15 years, but can reach up to 20 years in captivity. Because of their popularity in agriculture, several species of lovebird have multiple colour mutations, like the one we've looked at today. Most species are not considered to be threatened by conservation. The Lillian's lovebird and Fisher's lovebird both have the status of near threatened. The black-cheeked lovebird has a status of vulnerable, facing threats from the pet bird trade, loss of habitat, and changes in local agriculture practices. They are among the smallest species of parrot. The grey-headed lovebird is the smallest, measuring about 13 centimetres in length. Oh, that's tiny. Rosy-faced lovebirds and black-winged lovebirds are the largest, measuring over 16 centimetres in length. Still tiny. In most species of lovebird, males and females have similar plumage and are difficult to tell apart. And then rosy-faced lovebirds, known more commonly as peach-faced lovebirds in the bird trade, are among the most popular of all pet birds. Here we go. So it says that colour thing where you turn it upside down, has something to do with instructing your brain, predicting the colours. That is fascinating. Our brains do fill in the gaps a lot. That's why I tell you to look at your reference picture a lot more. I guarantee none of us are looking at our reference picture enough as we draw. You should be looking at your reference picture 80% of the time and your own page only 20% of the time, which is just crazy. And I don't do that enough for sure. Your brain fills in the gaps and makes assumptions, and obviously it doesn't just do that with form, but it can do that with colour. And by turning it upside down, as Joe's just explained, you can sort of reset that so that you can see it more accurately. Next week we are drawing the giant macaw. Oh, that's awesome. That's going to be another nice colourful one. Erin's got to go now. Thank you for joining us, Erin. Don't forget to upload your picture. Bye. Thank you. It was fun. It was good to have you back. I think I'm done. I think that's as much as I am going to be able to do and squeeze into the time slot. We're technically 5 minutes early, but if I start anything else now, I probably won't be able to complete it, she says, as she picks up a pencil to carry on. Just wanted to add in some more feathers there. It's not bad. It started off a little bit questionable today with the form. It's not perfect, but I do think it's recognisable as a lovebird. But so sorry I was late and I didn't hear what type of lovebird this is. Please can you tell me? This is the blue masked lovebird, and it's a colour mutation from the masked lovebird. So traditionally you would see this in like yellows and greens, but there are colour mutations that occur naturally in the wild as well as in the pet trade. So it's not just been bred this way. It is something that happens, a bit like one of us, you know, having been born with brown hair, somebody else being born with blonde, that kind of thing. Michael, did you want to share your picture?
Yeah.
Here's Michael. So he went completely on his own reference picture, and he's got. So this is the original masked lovebird. This is the traditional colours that we might be more familiar with, and then he's got the blue mask in there as well. So he's got a pair of lovebirds in their habitat, which is awesome. Well done, Michael. I said I wasn't going to add any more, and I totally lied, didn't I? We're still going. Just wanted to add in a couple of lines on the beak.
I didn't know you said couple to everything.
Did I?
Yeah. I just want to add a couple more feathers. And a couple more lines.
And then just smarten up the eye a bit as well. Not bad. Not bad for a Monday morning. When it started, I felt like it was going all wrong. But I am quite happy with that as an end result.
I'm going back to bed.
That is the blue masked lovebird. I'll bring it in a bit so you can see a little bit better. There we go. So yes, so don't forget, if you want some feedback, you're looking for this image later on today at 1 o'clock. You must upload before 3 o'clock if you want some written feedback. But the earlier you can get that feedback on, the better for Joe. Join us next week when we do the giant macaw and learn all about that fascinating parrot. But I hope you all have an amazing week ahead of you. Despite the weather, I say that, we've got blue skies breaking through now. So maybe it won't be too miserable today. And we'll see you all later. See you later. Bye-bye.